And Logan is a prick who is just trying to throw his money around and try and repair his rim.
Stand up. Stand up. Stand over here.
Why?
Stand over here. Let me see hands.
The disturbing reports surrounding Anthony Joshua's accident, which have reportedly drawn FBI attention toward Logan Paul and Jake Paul, are sending shockwaves across the boxing world as fans question their connection while Joshua works to recover. This growing scrutiny exposes the serious fallout of the crash and places Joshua's discipline in sharp contrast with the Paul brothers' history of controversy. Jake Paul's response to Anthony Joshua's accident has triggered widespread backlash online, and not in a positive way. Fans describe his message as oddly relaxed and emotionally distant during a moment that demands sincerity. Rather than standing in support of Joshua, his reaction has intensified speculation about his involvement. As global support pours in for Joshua during this tragedy, Jake Paul's behavior highlights a lack of compassion and reinforces why true champions represent more than personal gain. As more unsettling details emerge, Logan Paul's tweet addressing Anthony Joshua's accident has also come under heavy scrutiny. Fans are criticizing the timing and tone, saying it feels inappropriate given the seriousness of the situation. While Joshua continues his recovery, Logan Paul's response is deepening suspicions about the Paul brothers' possible role.
To officials in Nigeria, they ran into a stationary truck while trying to change lanes on the roads. Just a horrific accident. I don't want to start, assigning blame to something that I don't have the report for, but
Alexander Usyk's emotional statement reflects genuine respect and unity within the boxing community. In contrast to the Paul brothers, whose reactions have raised concerns, Usyk speaks with heartfelt sympathy for Anthony Joshua and the devastating loss of his close friends. His message highlights the emotional core of boxing and reminds fans that real champions uplift one another during life's darkest moments, offering support when it truly counts. Joshua's strength is acknowledged with sincere respect from fellow fighters.
Usyk said, "This is an unbelievable loss. Sinna Atlati for two incredible people who were not only part of AJ's team, but also friends. My sincere condolences to their families, loved ones, and everyone who knew them. Anthony Joshua, wishing you a speedy recovery."
Joe Rogan's reaction emphasizes how close Anthony Joshua came to an even more tragic outcome. The impact of the crash carried the potential for absolute disaster. Joshua's survival stands as a mix of fortune and toughness. While others attempt to twist or dramatize the event, Rogan stays grounded in reality, reminding fans how thin the line is between life and loss in moments like these.
That's
bonkers. Thank God he didn't have a seatbelt on. I never say that. Thank God he didn't have a fucking seatbelt on, because if he did,
there's no way.
He would be dead. Probably,
no
or fucking severely.
Eddie Hearn's response highlights the critical role of real support for Anthony Joshua and the families affected. During times of crisis, the difference between sincerity and exploitation becomes obvious, and Hearn displays genuine leadership. Unlike the Paul brothers, who remain surrounded by controversy, Joshua's camp unites around him, providing care and stability as the boxing world looks on, showing how champions are protected beyond the ring.
Be there for them and the family, anything they need. Sometimes when someone is a star, they have a lot of things in their life taken care of for them. So you really have to move into that mode in this situation as well. Make sure obviously they're getting the best medical attention, make sure their family are safe and happy.
Liam Guff draws attention to the heartbreaking human toll of Anthony Joshua's accident. The death of close friends intensifies the tragedy, proving the consequences extend far beyond physical harm. As Joshua battles through recovery both mentally and physically, The wave of support reflects the strength of the boxing community. At the same time, the Paul brothers' questionable responses only further highlight the respect and concern Joshua receives from fans and peers.
Anthony Joshua injured in car accident. 2 people who I believe were with Anthony Joshua were friends of his have tragically passed away. Before I carry on reading the article, the 2 people who have tragically passed, my condolences is all I can say to their friends and families. We'll definitely offer up some prayers for them.
Turki Alashika's remarks underline the seriousness of Anthony Joshua's condition after the crash, including fears surrounding potential brain trauma. Facing a challenge that could shake any fighter, Joshua's mental strength and resilience are being tested outside the ring. Responses from figures like Turki show that even elite athletes are vulnerable to life's unpredictability. As Joshua continues to recover, the difference between sincere concern and suspicious online behavior becomes increasingly clear. Fans remain hopeful for his recovery while acknowledging the enormous emotional and physical strain he faces. Details shared by Showbiz the Adult about the stationary truck collision highlight how suddenly life can shift away from the spotlight. Anthony Joshua was thrown into a dangerous and unexpected situation, underscoring how random tragedy can be. While some individuals use the incident for attention, Joshua's peers have united in support. The contrast with Jake and Logan Paul's controversial reactions continues to grow, making genuine concern easy to recognize. Fans are left absorbing both the shock of the crash and the divided reactions surrounding it, reinforcing Joshua's respected standing in boxing.
Sure if there was someone in the stationary truck. I'm not sure about that, so I'm not going to report on that, but the truck was stationary. And Anthony Joshua's SUV struck the stationary truck.
Watching Anthony Joshua full of energy just hours before the crash makes the situation even more heartbreaking. His laughter, friendships, and anticipation for future bouts reveal the human side of a fighter often hidden behind gloves. The Paul brothers' opportunistic behavior clashes sharply with that reality. While Joshua's supporters and fellow fighters offer prayers and compassion, Jake and Logan Paul appear emotionally distant, exposing a lack of empathy. This moment reminds the world of Joshua's humanity and how quickly normal life can turn into tragedy, strengthening the respect he has earned. Chris Eubank Jr.'s response reflects the deep respect and genuine concern fighters feel for Anthony Joshua. Unlike the Paul brothers, who remain surrounded by speculation and controversy, Eubank's reaction is calm, thoughtful, and rooted in unity. The effects of the accident extend beyond physical harm, impacting the emotional fabric of the boxing world. Fighters understand the uphill battle Joshua faces during recovery, both mentally and physically. Eubank's words reinforce that real champions stand together during moments of crisis. Fans are reminded that true concern comes from shared experience, brotherhood, and sincerity, standing in sharp contrast to opportunistic social media behavior that distracts from the real human tragedy. Tony Bellew highlights Anthony Joshua's resilience and strength of character. Even after such a traumatic accident, while shaken and potentially seriously injured, Joshua continues to earn respect for his courage and compassion. This stands in clear contrast to the Paul brothers' controversial reactions. Bellew's perspective reinforces the admiration Joshua commands within the boxing community, not only for his talent, but for his humanity. As fans watch his recovery unfold, the incident emphasizes the dangers champions face outside the ring and the importance of empathy. Joshua's calmness under pressure continues to separate him as a true role model for fighters and supporters alike.
But days where he could get seriously hurt. I don't believe Josh would have. I believe Josh might have some compassion in him. Yeah.
Liam Goff's report captures the deep sorrow surrounding Anthony Joshua's accident. The loss of 2 close friends adds emotional weight far beyond physical injuries, reminding fans that even champions are vulnerable to life's harsh realities. As Joshua begins the recovery process, attention has intensified on Logan and Jake Paul, who are reportedly under FBI investigation for possible involvement. The scrutiny highlights how high-profile figures can become entangled in serious situations, especially when online reactions and past disputes fuel suspicion. Joshua's resilience, combined with overwhelming support from fans, fighters, and officials, draws a sharp contrast between a true champion facing adversity and the controversial Paul brothers, who remain under intense observation as the world awaits clarity on their role, if any, in this tragic event.
Joshua injured in car accident. 2 people who I believe were with Anthony Joshua were friends of his have tragically passed away. Before I carry on reading the article, the 2 people who have tragically passed, my condolences is all I can say to their friends and families. We'll definitely offer up some prayers for them.
Frank Warren's reaction highlights the wider impact of Anthony Joshua's crash on the boxing community. Promoters understand how fragile life and careers can be outside the ring, and Warren addresses both the human and professional sides of this tragedy. With Logan and Jake Paul under FBI scrutiny, every aspect of the accident is now being carefully examined. Joshua's recovery and the strong support from his team stand in sharp contrast to the Paul brothers' questionable online behavior, raising serious questions about accountability and responsibility. Fans and insiders are closely watching how the investigation unfolds, revealing the fine line between speculation and fact. Warren's insight reminds the world that safety, compassion, and professionalism matter most after shocking events. Police confirmation of the crash paints a chilling picture of how close Anthony Joshua came to disaster. While Joshua suffered minor injuries, the loss of his friends remains a devastating blow that has shaken boxing deeply. Adding further tension, Logan and Jake Paul are now under FBI investigation as authorities examine any possible connection to the crash. Their suspicious posts and past conflicts with Joshua have intensified public concern. Joshua's recovery has become both a personal and public journey, with fans and athletes rallying behind him. This incident exposes the thin line between sports drama and real-life danger, and the growing scrutiny on the Paul brothers only deepens the story.
Was an accident at 9:30 a.m. local time, 8:30 our time, involving 2 vehicles in which 2 people have died, and Anthony Joshua has received minor injuries and he's been taken to hospital. So eyewitnesses say Joshua was in a Lexus SUV with 3 other passengers, and he was involved in an accident in which that Lexus collided with a truck that was stationary at the time. And there are videos online of a shaken Joshua being taken out of the car. So local police have confirmed that Joshua has suffered minor injuries, but that 2 people have died in that accident.
The latest report confirms the seriousness of Anthony Joshua's accident, emphasizing how close he came to a far more tragic outcome. Surviving severe injuries while losing 2 close friends is a harsh reminder of how unpredictable life can be outside the ring. The ongoing FBI investigation into Logan and Jake Paul adds another layer of tension, as their questionable behavior and online activity continue to draw attention. While Joshua focuses on medical evaluations and recovery, the boxing world remains on edge. Fans clearly see the contrast between Joshua's dignity and the Paul brothers' controversial presence, reinforcing admiration for Joshua's composure and strength. The situation remains intense, and public interest in the investigation is only expected to grow.
Breaking news, ladies and gentlemen, Anthony Joshua, future heavyweight Hall of Famer, has been in a severe car accident which killed 2 people. He is severely injured. He's still alive. There's footage out there of people helping Anthony Joshua out the vehicle. We don't know the details of what happened, if they was in a car accident, if they was just swerving around and lost control. We don't know, but my condolences go out to those who lost their lives. Hopefully it was just, man, a terrible accident. And also, hopefully Anthony Joshua will seek the medical attention that he needs. You know, check the everything, the head, the scan everything, x-ray, MRI, because we don't know if that could be internal bleeding as well. You know, adrenaline is pumping and you may feel like you're not okay, but you got to check everything. But hopefully he heals well, and Godspeed. And again, my condolences go out to those that lost their lives.
The tragic accident that injured Anthony Joshua and claimed the lives of 2 close friends has shaken the boxing world to its core. Amid the grief, Logan and Jake Paul are facing FBI scrutiny, with questions surrounding their potential involvement and concerning social media activity. Joshua's resilience, dignity, and focus on recovery stand in stark contrast to the uncertainty surrounding the Paul brothers, highlighting the true meaning of a champion under pressure. Fans are standing firmly behind Joshua, offering prayers and support as he undergoes thorough medical evaluations to ensure his full recovery. The story is far from over, and every update carries major significance for boxing and the wider public. The question now remains: who will ultimately face the truth as the investigation unfolds? Do you believe Anthony Joshua will rise above this tragedy, or could Logan and Jake Paul surprise the world? Share your thoughts below.